Welcome, everyone. While we're getting set up and more people are arriving, I invite you to post a comment and let me know where you are watching from. I'm here in Maui, in Hawaii. I'm curious where everyone else is coming in from. Colorado, from the Bay. Let's see. Wow. Hi, Brian. Brazil, Louisiana, Amsterdam, Australia, Canada. Wow. So we're coming in from all over the world. I'm excited to be joining you today. I'm curious, before we dive into the meditation itself, can you hear me okay? Should I change anything about my volume so that you have the best possible listening experience? It's very soft. All right. How about now, Blossom Flower? Is this better? I turned it up on my end. Ah, it's only coming through in one headphone. Well, I have no idea what to tell you about that, Mary. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure how I can fix that right now, but that's something I will look into for in the future. I have no clue. So I see. All right, some people say hearing is good. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me. So I would like to invite all of us, there are 40 of us gathered here now, to just tune in to the fact that we are connected through space and time. It's a miracle, really, that we can all be here together across our entire planet. And I would just like to invite you to recognize the beauty in technology and in the ability to do something as profound as meditation that affects you internally on such a deep level, and to know that it's resonating and reverberating out and you're connecting with people from all over the globe. It's so beautiful. Aloha, Linda. Wow, it's so beautiful to see people I know, people I don't know. I love the opportunity that we get to come together for this now. And we will get started with the actual meditation in just a few moments. What I would love to do first is just to tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Victoria Angel Hart, and I have been practicing mindfulness for 6 really devoted years. I've lived in 2 Buddhist monasteries, and I have trained at UCLA to be a mindfulness meditation teacher. And I'm currently training under Dr. Judson Brewer to be a mindfulness-based behavior change facilitator. So I've really made this my life's work. And as I have gone so deep on the path of mindfulness, which I'm sure many of you are also really committed to this path, or you wouldn't be here now, I've found that one stumbling block for me has been letting go, because I really like to hold on to things. I don't know about you, but if I have a thought in my mind, I love to just hear it over and over again. Or if I'm feeling some kind of way, I think I'm going to feel that way forever. Can anyone resonate with that? I apologize that I will have to take some sips of water. I'm recovering from suspected coronavirus, and I am feeling much, much better, but I'm still getting my voice back completely. So letting go has been something that's been really hard for me, especially when it comes to strong and difficult emotions. I remember particularly when the 2016 election happened, I felt so much fear. And regardless of your political beliefs, whenever big changes happen, like are coming up in the US and in places all over the world, there is that sense of instability and insecurity that comes up when we don't actually know what's going to happen. We don't know about coronavirus. We don't know what's going to happen with our finances. We don't know what will happen with our jobs. We don't know what will happen with our loved ones. There's so much fear and there's so much unknown. And it can be really easy to want to cling on to the fear because at least it gives you something to do. Or you can feel all this fear and it can be so overwhelming that all you want to do is watch Netflix all day. So, whichever part of the spectrum you're on, when it comes to letting go of fear and letting love in, know that you're in good company. You are not the only person who has struggled with fear, who is currently struggling with fear. And the practice I want to offer you today is something that I created a few years ago, and I've been offering to students around the world, and I find to be one of the most profound techniques of really digging in to stories around fear and shifting from that vibration of fear to the vibration of love. So, we'll get started with the practice in just a moment, but I do want to say that this is a free offering that Insight Timer provides, and if you would like to donate at any point during this practice, there's a donate button there. You can also follow and like my page. I have over 60 meditations posted on the Insight Timer right now, and 33 of them are about sleep. So I'm really dedicated to my path of expanding other people's ability to access practices that can be healing for them, whether it be insomnia, whether it be fear, whether it be anxiety, whether it be depression or anything else, to always come back into a state of love and into a state of gratitude. So if that resonates with you, I invite you to follow me or perhaps even leave a donation so that we can continue hosting these events on the Insight Timer. And with that, I would love to invite you to settle in and notice if you are still perhaps holding your phone in your hand. Notice that. And if you want to keep holding your phone in your hand, you are more than welcome to. But I invite you to see if you can put it down. There's no reason to look at me for the rest of this practice. And you don't have to have your eyes open if you don't want to. So if you'd like to put your phone down, you can have your hands free and let them rest softly in your lap. And as they're resting in your lap, just begin to notice what's real in your hands in this moment. Do they feel dry? Do they feel clammy? Do they feel warm or cool? And just give yourself a moment of reconnecting with your hands in a way that isn't about them doing anything for you, but about you just being with them and experiencing them now. Perhaps even noticing in the palm of your hands, seeing if you feel maybe any tingling, if you feel any sort of sensation emanating out of the palm of your hands, a vibration. It can be subtle, it can be distinct, whatever it is. Just seeing what's alive as you don't do anything, but you just continue being present in your body in this moment. So noticing how your hands feel, and then dropping down into your feet. And if your feet are on the ground, see if they can be flat. And as they're flat on the ground, notice your connection to the earth. You might not be sitting directly on the earth, but you can still feel that sense of groundedness, knowing that you're supported, you are held up here. And as you connect into your feet, knowing that there is nowhere to go and there is nothing to do, this is an opportunity for you to give yourself the gift of being a human being instead of a human doing. So let your feet know they can take a rest. They can connect you to the ground. And they don't have to take you anywhere. Your feet can be an anchor point in your mindfulness practice, just as your hands can be an anchor point. There's one other anchor point I'll offer to you in this moment, and that is your heart center. If you'd like, you can take one of your hands and let it rest softly on your chest. For some people, this can feel really nurturing. So I invite you to just see how you're doing. As you check in with your heart center, seeing what's alive in this moment, knowing that there might be a lot there. You might be feeling an overwhelming tsunami of emotions rushing, coming and going. Or perhaps it might feel like you can't feel anything. Or maybe there's just a sense of peace and ease. None of them are right or wrong. None of them are good or bad. This practice is simply an opportunity to experience whatever's real. We'll be going into the practice of real relief in this moment. And real relief is about being with life as it unfolds. So seeing in your heart, as we begin this practice of real relief from fear, what's alive? And if there is a lot of fear, letting it be there. And then digging in a layer deeper behind the fear, behind maybe some anxiety, some stress, some worry. Perhaps seeing if you notice there's still a little tiny piece down there that's just your own basic goodness. Can you feel into the goodness that's always underneath? We all have this same basic goodness. And sometimes it's easier to tap into than others. And if you're having a hard time accessing it, you can just call to mind someone or something that you're grateful for. And as you experience that gratitude, you can notice if perhaps it shows up here in your heart center. And we'll begin a beautiful practice. There are 127 of us going to co-create heart coherent breathing. So we'll breathe in for the count of 6, and we'll breathe out for the count of 6. And as we breathe, we will focus here in the heart center, in this anchor point where our basic goodness resides. So breathing in and just sighing and letting go. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, continuing on, focusing in, out, feeling gratitude. Continuing to feel as you breathe in your basic goodness, and as you breathe out, let it wash over your body. We're creating coherence between our minds and our hearts, both individually and here together, all 141 of us. So we'll keep breathing rhythmically together. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I invite you to practice at your own pace. We'll hold this space for a few moments together in silence, focusing on gratitude, breathing rhythmically, and just allowing whatever is here to be here. And if your hand has been resting on your heart, you can keep it there, or perhaps you can let it rest back in your lap. Noticing if your mind has wandered away, knowing that makes you 100% human, and coming back into the breath, perhaps continuing to count in and out in 6, or perhaps letting the counting fade away and just being present with whatever is in your lived experience in this moment. The practice of getting real relief from fear begins by knowing that it's an acronym. REAL stands for recognize, experience, allow, love, and let go. So together, all 157 of us have the opportunity to do this now. There's a saying that every day you can choose to either transmit or to transmute the unpleasant emotions that arise within you. And you do that through conscious awareness. And that starts with pausing. You pause when you recognize that there's a feeling there. And for this practice, that feeling is the feeling of fear. When you experience fear, the most important thing you can do is to say to yourself, yeah, there's fear here. You might phrase it, colloquially as, I'm afraid, or I feel fear. And if you notice yourself saying, I'm afraid right now, be with that and know that you're not alone. Fear is such a human emotion. And in this particular time, with so much uncertainty, with so much of the world going through changes that have never been experienced, it's totally normal to have fear. And you might be experiencing fear because of something that's happening in your own personal life, or within your family, within your job, within your community. Fear comes at us in all different directions. And to get real relief from the fear starts with pausing and recognizing, there is fear here. And sometimes that can be the hardest step, because oftentimes fear causes us to dissociate or become numb. And we don't even know we're afraid because we can't really feel anything. Or other times fear is so paralyzing, you know you're afraid, but you think you can't move, you can't do anything about it. So whatever your experience is with fear, know that it is welcome. Know that it wants to be seen. It wants to be recognized. It wants to be recognized because it's here to tell you something. This fearful part of you wants to protect you. And it's absolutely doing the best that it thinks it can. So taking a moment to come back into the anchor that feels most nourishing for you. Letting go of thinking about fear and coming into your body, either your hands, your feet, or your heart center. Whichever, or another part of your body, wherever feels safe, wherever you can feel grounded and present. And just letting yourself rest in this anchored awareness, knowing that you have done an amazing job of recognizing fear. And continuing to rest in your anchor. And knowing that for some people who have PTSD or a history of trauma, practices like this can be overwhelming. And if that happens, you can always open your eyes at any point. You can always come back and feel into your lived experience outside and around you, connecting back into the ground. If at any point you start to feel unsafe during this practice. So tuning back into fear. We started out with the R, recognizing that there is fear here. And now we shift into the E. And this shift can feel really scary for some people, really overwhelming for others, and downright impossible for some. Because the E of real relief is experience. And we don't like to experience fear. It's not fun to feel afraid. And sometimes we feel it in every cell of our body. And sometimes we know it's there and we can't feel a thing. So wherever you fall on that spectrum, know that it's perfectly normal. Know that you can use particular places of bodily awareness to find and experience fear. So we're not experiencing it to do anything bad, or I don't know, some people can get weird about this. We're experiencing our fear because we then allow it, and then we end up loving it and letting it go. I want to be really clear for the people who weren't here when I said that at the beginning. So we've recognized, and now we're going to experience, because only through experiencing it can we allow it, love it, and let it go. So let's tune into this practice of experiencing our fear. If your eyes are open, I invite you to close them and become the scientist, getting really curious. What does fear feel like in my body? Checking in with your throat. Do you feel a constriction in your throat? Checking in with your gut. Is there a clenching or a tightening there? Noticing if you feel any shakiness. Or maybe you've suddenly started feeling very hot or very cold. Maybe you notice that you feel disconnected from one part of your body. Tuning into your jaw and seeing if it's clenched. When you're afraid, does your body stiffen? Does it tighten? Or does it just kind of go loose and numb? As you sit and experience what fear is like for you in this moment, I invite you to recognize that all emotions, including and especially fear, always come and they always go. How long we hold on to them is up to us. And part of the practice of getting real relief from fear is experiencing the fear so that it has been acknowledged and so it can leave more quickly on its own. And you might notice that as we've been practicing experiencing fear for a few moments now, that things have shifted in your body. One of the most beautiful parts of awareness is that when we shine the light of awareness in a particular place in our body, often what was hiding there and screaming for attention, when it's illuminated, it says, "Ah, thanks for seeing me," and it disappears. So part of the experience of fear is recognizing its impermanence. Even as in the moment it might feel so real and it might feel so overwhelming that you can't possibly imagine it ending. And holding compassion for that too, that scared part of you that needs to know it's safe. And for that fearful part that's trying to protect you. Recognizing that there is fear, experiencing it in your body, shifts us into the A of real relief, which is allowance. For some people, this can seem really challenging. Why would I allow myself to be afraid? I don't want to be afraid. I don't like fear. The paradox is that in allowing yourself to feel what you are already feeling, it shifts. So opening and allowing yourself to feel any shifts that are arising in your body now. Allowing your stomach, perhaps, to unclench. Allowing your throat to soften. Allowing your jaw to be loose. Allowing your breath to become deeper. We'll pause here and invite in the remembrance of our anchor points. Because at any point during the real relief practice, if it gets to be too much, you can always come back in to your anchors that help you to feel grounded and help remind you that you are safe and supported in this moment. So feeling into your feet, feeling your connection to the earth, or perhaps feeling into your hands, feeling into the weight of your hands, or perhaps feeling back into your heart center, beneath the fear, or beneath whatever emotions are here, down into the core of your essence, where your basic goodness resides. Feeling into your basic goodness, and just resting there for a moment. Feeling into that place within you that is unshakable love and joy, peace and bliss. Most easily accessed through the lens of basic goodness. But whatever you want to call it, giving yourself permission to dip your toes in its waters, even in the midst of practicing working with fear. And then opening back into a space of allowing whatever is in your experience related to fear to be here now. And shifting your words, your language, from I am afraid to there is fear here. That shift in language will make a profound difference in your life. It gives you your power back by reminding you that you are not the fear that you feel in this moment. You're the one noticing it. You're the one experiencing it. But it does not define you. So as we allow ourselves to work with fear, we can use the phrase, there is fear here. Or perhaps there's another emotion now. Maybe as you were looking at fear, you saw that underneath the layer of fear is a layer of anxiety, a layer of hurt, a layer of sadness, whatever is there. So using the phrase, there is blank here. There is sadness here. And then I love to add in, after I say, there is fear here, and this too shall pass. It's an overused phrase, but when you really listen to the meaning, and this too shall pass, there is such power in those words. There is such truth. This will not last forever. This will pass. So feeling in this moment into the power you have inside of you to choose to not be the victim of fear, to not be the victim of any of your emotions, but instead to be the compassionate observer. And as you allow yourself to shift out of the belief that you are the fear, I invite you into the L of real relief. Love it and let go. Love that this fear showed up to try to protect you. The fear came to let you know that it wants you to be safe. So actually, invite in some gratitude if that feels resonant to this fear. Wow, fear. Thank you for showing up to help me. And perhaps that's not accessible to you right now. You don't want to thank your fear. You don't feel grateful for it. You still feel frustrated by it or angry at it or numb. Know that that too can just be held with compassion. This isn't a practice of just trying to make our emotions go away and never feel them, or just stay in a space of love and light all the time. It's not that. It is a practice of holding with compassion whatever arises, and recognizing that as it arises, it wants to be seen. It wants to be experienced. It wants to know that you're listening. And it wants to be let go of. But all of that is in due time. And we're not here to force. We're not here to make anything happen, but we are here to be the observer of what changes as we shine the light of awareness and as we love what is, as Byron Katie would say. So tuning back into your anchor points, feeling your feet on the ground, noticing your connection to the earth now, feeling the weight of your body in your chair, noticing any sensations in your hands, and coming back to your heart center. Our lives will always have fear in them because fear is a human emotion. We share it with all living creatures. But we are blessed to be able to always have the option of choosing to respond to fear. To choosing to respond to fear with love rather than reacting with more fear. We can choose to transmit the fear that we feel, or we can choose to transmute it. This practice of real relief gives you the opportunity to transmute your fear. So bringing both hands to your heart and just tuning in to what's alive in your heart right now. There could still be some fear. It is welcome here. There could be peace. There could be joy. There could be a newfound freedom here from recognizing that you are not your fear, of realizing that you can say, there is fear here, of remembering the power of the phrase, this too shall pass. Of being willing to love and let go of every emotion that comes up to be seen, to be experienced, to be felt, to be loved. Feeling gratitude for your willingness to listen, for your willingness to experience what it's like to have real relief in your life. And letting yourself really hold on and anchor into any sensations of your own goodness, your own strength, your own vitality, your own willpower to always come back to the present moment, to shine the light of awareness where there is darkness. For your willingness to forgive yourself for when you forget. The practice of real relief is here for you whenever you want to access it, whenever you remember, whenever you need it. It doesn't take too much time. You can think, oh, I'm feeling fear. I'll practice real relief. I recognize, aha, I'm pausing. I'm slowing down. I'm recognizing, yes, there is fear. There's also anxiety. There's also distress. Naming all the sensations. You don't have to just pick one, but you can. E, experience. As much as you're willing to, letting yourself feel what's actually happening in your body. Checking in different places, like your belly, like your hands, your jaw, your throat. And if it gets to be too much, if you're experiencing real relief, you can always come back to an anchor point that keeps you feeling grounded and present in your body, like your feet or your hands or your heart center. And then you allow yourself to be with the fear, remembering the phrase, there is fear here, and it too shall pass. Allowing yourself, your own humanity, to experience all that comes and all that goes. And then loving the fear, if you feel capable, for what it's showing you, for the ways it's teaching you, for the ways it's trying to protect you, the ways it's keeping you safe. And then letting it go when it's ready. Surrendering the grasp it's had on your mind. And letting whatever is next arise. As you remember that you can choose to transmute fear into love rather than transmit love. To transmit fear. I'll say that one more time. You can always consciously choose to transmute fear into love rather than to transmit fear. So in a moment, I'm going to ring a bell. And as you hear the bell, I'll invite you to bring movement back into your body. But I will also invite you not to leave the live stream because our practice isn't over. There's one more part to do together. But just encouraging you to start waking up. And as you're waking up, just letting whatever's here still be here, enjoying it, listening to the sound of the bell, and eventually opening your eyes. Thank you so much for being a part of the Real Relief. Before our time ends together, I want to share a few things. First of all, I'm also a sacred musician, and my first single will be coming out in a few weeks here on Insight Timer and other streaming platforms. So I'm going to offer you one of the songs from my album. But before I do, I'll just share a little bit more. I have been teaching on Insight Timer for almost 3 years. If you like what you've experienced today, I encourage you to follow me. And this practice will be posted in a similar format on Insight Timer in the next 24 hours or so. I've submitted it for approval. I have 33 sleep meditations, so I love the comments about my voice. And yes, I don't know who Lori Westbury is, but I love to channel calm and ease. So I have 33 sleep meditations for anyone who might be suffering from insomnia. And the rest of my meditations are about anxiety, work-related stress. A lot of them come from my root teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, and also my teachers from UCLA, where I studied mindfulness meditation, Diana Winston and Daniel Siegel. So, if you enjoyed this practice, I encourage you to donate. This is a really great opportunity for me to expand my offerings, and I'm so grateful for Insight Timer for offering me the opportunity to share on this platform today. If you are available, I know the time zone, I live in Hawaii, so time zones can be tricky, but at 6 p.m. Hawaii time, about 6 hours from now, on Thursday, I will be offering a sleep meditation called Rest, Reset, and Receive, where I'll be playing more of my live music, and I will be offering a guided relaxation meditation that is unlike pretty much anything you've experienced on Insight Timer so far. It's something really unique to me, and that is at 6 p.m. Hawaii time, which unfortunately I can't tell you what time that is in your time zone. And I know Insight Timer is working on a feature to let replays be available, so hopefully there will be a replay of that one. And I do coaching and teaching, all of that kind of stuff. You can find out more about me if you visit my teacher profile page. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated. Thank you for all of your sweet comments. And I want to leave you with this song. It's a chant, so if you want to follow along, the words are, may I be open, may I be free, may I release, may I be at peace. That's the first part of it. And this will be the first single from my upcoming album that's coming out. This single will be out in a few weeks here on Insight Timer and other platforms. And the instrument I'm using, because you won't be able to see it, is called a Shruti box. And it's an Indian instrument. Is there anyone here from India? And it's a drone, so it sounds like this. So I invite you, if you have 4 or 5 minutes to listen to this song, to close your eyes again and to just be in the experience. Again, thank you all so much for your donations. Thank you for your kind words. And I look forward to meditating with you again. And I hope that you enjoy this song, May I Be Open. May I release. next words if you want to sing along. It's the same melody. May I be open. May I be free. May I believe that I'm whole and complete. May we all remember that. May we all believe that we are whole. We are complete, just as we are. May I be open. May I be free. May I believe that I'm whole and complete. May I be open. May I be free. May I believe that I'm whole and complete. And the last phrase, if you'd like to follow along, may I be open. May I be free. May I receive. May I be at ease. And that's my prayer for you for the rest of your day or night, that you receive and that you be at ease, that you stay open and you stay free. May I be open. May I be free. May I receive. May I be at ease. May I be open. May I be free. May I receive. May I be at ease. And to close our time here together, I'll just say thank you so much again to everyone's sweet comments. Thank you so much for sharing how this practice has impacted you. If you have any questions, you can message me on the Insight Timer and I'd be happy to support you. I hope you'll listen to some of the 60 plus meditations I already have and look for this practice of real relief from fear coming in the next 24 hours or so. And if you'd like to leave a donation, I'd really appreciate it. And to finish our time together, let's sing it together. Instead of singing I, let's sing we, recognizing that there are 288 of us from all over the world here together. And let's lift our voices in song with the words, a prayer, not just for ourselves, not just for the 288 of us here collectively, but for all beings across our precious planet right now. May we be open. May we be free. May we receive. May we be at ease. We'll sing it 2 times together to end our practice. May we be open. peace and ease, that openness and freedom reverberate through your body. May you carry it with you throughout the course of your day or into the evening. I'm so grateful to practice with you. If you have any questions about the practice, I'll stay on for another minute or two. If there's anything you want to know about real relief that you haven't, let me turn there, my volume's probably better now. If there's anything about real relief for fear or using it with any other emotion that you have a question about, I invite you to ask the question now. I'll stay on for just another moment and see if I can be of service in any way to anyone who would like to continue practicing real relief. Thank you all so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your donations. Thank you for your follows. I look forward to seeing you again. I'll be here Thursday at 6 p.m. Hawaii time, which is midnight on the East Coast and 9 p.m. in California, and some other time of day or night in other parts of the world. And there will be more practices like this coming from me. So if you follow me, you can find out about all of the practices I have coming up. And again, if you start working with Real Relief and you find that you have questions, feel free to send me a message on the Insight Timer. I would love to support you. And thank you so much for using this platform, and thank you to the people who are working so hard at Insight Timer to make this happen for me and for you so smoothly and efficiently and effectively. I really honor and appreciate you each for taking the time out of your day to commit to being a human being again, rather than a human doing. We always have things to do, and we can always come home to our true nature, to ourselves as human beings. Sending you so much aloha from the island of Maui, and wishing you well on the rest of your day. I'm going to end the live now. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo for coming, for donating, for following, and I look forward to spending time with you here on Insight Timer Thursday or sometime in the future. Blessings.